Hello everyone, this is Shadow Legend 25, and today I'm going to be reviewing the iPhone 4 for Virgin Mobile. This is the first time I'm actually ever doing a review. Before, I probably would listen to more of these than actually do one myself, but I've been so impressed with this device, I just felt like I had to do a review, and to justify why get it on Virgin Mobile. So, before I went to Virgin Mobile, I was at MetroPCS, and MetroPCS, to me, has a really great network. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with the quality of service I got on the network, and the 4G internet was pretty great. However, the biggest issue I had at MetroPCS wasn't necessarily with the network. In fact, I probably would have stayed at MetroPCS if otherwise, but the reason I left was because of the quality of their phones. I actually went through 4 different Android devices, from the LG Optimus to the Samsung Admire to the Samsung Galaxy Attain to finally to the LG Esteem. And the reason why I kept switching devices was because the battery life was terrible on them. Sometimes many manufacturers build the devices to be as cheap as possible, but at the same time, because they're built in a certain manner, they're not able to process power to the best of their ability. So sometimes these phones tend to die out between 5 to 6 hours. My last phone, the LG Esteem, died out within 3 hours, which was terrible. And at that point, I was just like, it's time to move on. And so, as I was looking around for different companies, Virgin Mobile came to mind because they had the iPhone. And obviously, I wasn't a big fan of the iPhone when it first came out. But now I've learned to, live with it, and I think it's really great as a device. It's really powerful, has a great processor. It has probably one of the best battery lives in the game. So, as I'm explaining this, also one of the key aspects about the network is that, they have they really focus on more so unlimited messaging and data, and they cap you on your minutes. So you can get a plan for as low as $35 a month, and then you get a $5 discount if you auto pay, up to about $55 a month, and then you get a discount again from them, a $5 discount from them as well. I'm actually on the $45 plan, which is a plan that has unlimited messaging and data and 1,200 minutes. But that's just how Virgin Mobile works. So let's go into the phone itself. So as you can see here, just like any other iPhone, has the basic feel of it. It's just like any other iPhone 4. You can take a look here. You can see iPhone. You don't see any markings of Virgin Mobile. The only time you ever see Virgin is if you click on it and you see here the Virgin 3G logo up here. So let's take a look at some of the specs inside. So some of the key things that I wanted to make sure that I can talk about in this review is, first things first, is the battery life. I find the battery life on the phone to be pretty amazing, and here's why. The battery actually is only about 1,400 mAh, which is pretty low if you consider some of the other phones in the market today, how they've gone over 1,500. But even though it has one of the lowest mAh, it actually has some of the better battery life. And so, in fact, if I don't ever use this phone, I don't have to ever charge it. And in most cases, when I do use the phone, it actually can last up to about 13 hours. With a talk here, with web access here, with messaging, with the things that I do, it lasts about 10 to 14 hours, which is pretty phenomenal. And if I don't use it, it just stays there, and the battery life doesn't drain out completely. So this phone is really impressive when it comes to battery life. The feel of it is great. It's quite fast. Just like any other iPhone. Remember, this is based off the iPhone. This is the iPhone, so you can't expect it to be like slow or anything of that nature when they build these things to really last well. So let's take a look at first let's take a look at, and the next thing I want to take a look at is speed. So obviously I'm on 3G right now, and I'm actually located in New York. So in New York, we get some of the best network services we have around. So let's do a quick test to see how fast the internet is. Mind you, this is on kilobytes per second. So as you all can see, the speed test here is sort of, the network is definitely slower than other networks I've been up with before, and that includes MetroPCS. But I don't necessarily condemn the phone because of that. And here's why. I'm going to actually quickly show you guys a few of the results from other times I've done it. So I've done this a couple of times. If you look at the first two results here, you can see that the network actually was a little faster earlier in the day. Earlier in a couple of minutes ago when I did the test earlier as well. And this is on Wi-Fi. Obviously, Wi-Fi is going to be a lot faster than 3G any day. But this kind of also shows me that the phone itself has the ability to really connect to the network and to be pretty fast, or if not slow, starting off, and then get to a decent speed. If we go to Safari, let's take a look at a site. So let's take a look at the New York Times. New York Times is typically a heavy tech site, and it actually loaded pretty fast. Even for being a tech site, which is actually pretty impressive to see. And with that being said, the phone itself works phenomenal even with 3G here. But again, I'm in New York, and your service is going to depend on where you are and what site you're going to. So as you can see, it's pretty fast. It gets the job done. I've been impressed with the phone. I think that it is the best phone I've had ever, and that's hard for me to say because I've had a lot of different phones. I'm known as a phone junkie, but definitely one of the best. And I would say if you're looking to give this a go, you should give it a go. Think about how much you're going to pay up front, but think about what you're saving, not just when it comes to plan, but you're saving time and energy with other phones from other companies. This is probably the best phone I've had on any no contract, provider. So, give it a go. If you have any questions, anything else you want me to show you how it works, feel free to message me below and I will respond. And I might even put up another video with more information about your questions. So feel free. And for those of you guys who are non-believers in the no contract iPhone, think again. And I would say this phone here proves that this can be definitely a no contract deal.